You've heard the term, right? Agentic AI. It's this idea of AI that doesn't just find information for you, it actually does stuff for you. And when it comes to travel, man, that sounds like a dream come true. So today, let's dive into that dream and then get a serious dose of the reality of a true AI travel agent.
I mean, just imagine saying that. One sentence. And poof, an AI just goes out and researches, books, and pays for your entire vacation. No more having a million tabs open, right? No more cross-referencing 10 different sites. It's an incredible vision for sure, but it also makes you wonder.
Yeah, so why can't we do this yet? Because, and here's the tough truth, we are not even close. All that hype you hear, the reality is way, way behind. The gap between what AI travel agents promise and what they can actually deliver is, well, it's massive. And the reasons for that gap are way more complicated than you might think. Okay, so let's start with the most obvious problem. The number one reason this doesn't work right now? The itineraries that AI spits out are, a lot of the time, just plain wrong. And I'm not talking a little bit off, I mean fundamentally completely broken. Get ready for this number. 90%. That is just staggering. That's the failure rate we're talking about. Think about it. 9 times out of 10, an AI-planned trip has at least one major screw-up. Would you accept those odds for anything else? No way. So you might be asking, okay, but how are they wrong? Well, here's the breakdown. More than half the time, the AI will tell you to go see something when it's closed. Seriously. And almost a quarter of the time, it'll confidently send you to a restaurant that doesn't even exist anymore. And this is a perfect example of what people call an AI hallucination. The AI literally just made up a cafe that sounded real. So it's not even about finding bad information, it's about inventing fiction out of thin air. For you, the traveler, that's a disaster. It could ruin your entire day. But believe it or not, bad data is just scratching the surface. Okay, so the data's bad, we get it. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real roadblock here isn't about how smart the AI is. No, the biggest problem is the plumbing. It's the ancient, creaky, duct-taped-together systems that the entire travel industry is built on. People who work in travel have a great name for it, the Franken-Stack. And it's exactly what it sounds like. This monster made of old, mismatched parts. You've got these ancient booking systems, modern websites, totally separate payment processors, all just kind of crudely bolted together. And guess what? They do not play well with each other. That makes it almost impossible for an AI to do a single, clean transaction from start to finish. And this table right here just lays it all out perfectly. What we have now are AI trip planners. They're great at looking stuff up on the public internet, suggesting things. But what we need is an AI transactional agent, and that is a whole different ballgame. It needs secure, live access to booking systems where you cannot have a single error. The stakes are incredibly high. It's the difference between a research assistant and, well, a licensed agent who can legally spend your money. Let me give you a perfect real-world example of how this whole autonomy thing just falls apart. Picture this. The AI finds you the perfect flight. Awesome. It goes to pay. But then, bam, the law, especially in places like Europe, says you need two-factor authentication. So you have to stop, pull out your phone, and tap approve. And just like that, the magic is gone. The seamless hands-off dream is broken. A human, you, is back in the loop.
But okay, let's play a game. Let's pretend we have a magic wand and we fix all the tech problems overnight. The data is perfect, the systems are seamless. We would still run smack into the biggest wall of all. Us, the human problem. It's all about trust and who's on the hook when things go wrong.
Just take a look at these numbers, they're wild. Pretty much all of us, over 90%, are cool with asking an AI a question. Hey, what's the weather like? Fine. But the second money gets involved, that trust just falls off a cliff. Only 20% of people trust an AI to handle their money. And giving it full control to book a whole trip, a tiny, tiny 2%. And here's where it gets really interesting. You've got this huge disconnect. The people building this stuff, the business leaders, over 80% of them are like, yeah, sure, we trust AI with your data. But then you ask us, the customers, and only about a third of us agree. That is a massive gap in trust, and you can't just code your way out of that problem. This is the big one, the billion-dollar question that has lawyers everywhere sweating. If your AI travel agent messes up, and I mean really messes up, books the wrong non-refundable flight for thousands of dollars, who is legally responsible? Is it you? The company that made the AI? The platform you used? The answer is nobody knows. And until someone figures that out, no company is going to risk it.
And honestly, that caution makes perfect sense, because we've all been there, right? Your flight gets canceled, your luggage is missing. What's the first thing you want to do? A whopping 71% of us say the same thing. I need to talk to a person. You want a human being who can help, not a chatbot giving you a 404 error.
And this is really the key takeaway from all of this. It's not that the technology is a failure. Not at all. It's about being smart about what we ask it to do. It's about figuring out which jobs are perfect for a machine and which ones, well, which ones still need a human touch.
And let's be super clear, AI is already doing amazing things in travel. It's a fantastic tool for getting inspiration, for tracking prices, sending you an alert when that flight drops by $50. It's great for answering simple questions. But notice the pattern here. These are all tasks that help you. They're assistive. The AI isn't in charge, it's just helping out.
This is where the rubber really meets the road. In a crisis, an AI just gets stuck. A human uses their experience and judgment to actually solve the problem. When it comes to something complicated like visa rules or safety concerns, a human has a legal duty to advise you properly. An AI doesn't. And that last point is maybe the most important. With a human agent, you know who's responsible. With an AI, it's a legal black hole. So what does the future actually look like? It's not this sci-fi movie where robots replace all the travel agents. The real, practical future is about partnership. Think of the AI as a co-pilot. It does all the heavy lifting with data, the research, the boring stuff, and that frees up the human expert to do what they do best, deal with you, the client, and solve the really tricky problems.
So after all this, it really boils down to one simple question. Let's say you're thousands of miles from home. Everything's gone wrong, you're stressed out. Who do you want to call? An algorithm that can process data but can't understand panic? Or an expert whose entire job is to get you out of that mess? I think for right now, the answer to that is pretty obvious.